There we go. I'm going to put this down because it gets so bright. Sorry. All right. Okay, give me a thumbs up when you... Hello, Alexandra. Alex. Haven't seen you for a bit. Alana. Firstly, Sue York, thank you for the consistent YouTube goodness. Thank you for all the positive comments. They go a long way. This side of the world is a bit of a desert, you know? I never realized how much it meant to me to show up every day. And when I would show up in the studio, I could sit down and I could see you. And when I showed up at the studio, I could find out how are you and how are things going. Before we even begin, I can begin to formulate where we need to go. And so with that in mind, I will teach to Kate's questions today. Just like John and Mankway had the same questions about their hips clicking a couple practices ago. And so when you write to me and you send me a question, it refines what I can offer you. And that becomes something that's useful for everyone. And so please feel free. Hello, Michelle. Good morning. Really making sure that the practice is working for me, for you. So I'm going to start out with a little bit, today we're doing energy equalizer. I'm not sure what the cause is, but we've been doing rational exponents with my son this morning and just feeling like I really don't know, but I will sit with you and I will help you as much as I can. And not knowing doesn't mean failure, right? And so I have questions and I work with those questions, and then you have questions and you write to me and we work through those questions. The questions are simply our form of evolution. And I remember that as I work with him on math this morning, right? I'm going to give you a little clearer view of anatomy. So there's a question here about neck position. When I say heart up, chin in, what does this mean? And it's a really, really essential point. And what we're coming to is what Guru Prem talks about as divine alignment. So if I were to be cooking along, driving my car, here I am driving my car, and I have a bucket seat. So the bucket seat means that my seat is below my knees. And what's the shape of my seat? My shape of seat is like this. Here I go down the highway. My left foot stays still. My right foot goes like this. So I have an incredible amount of asymmetry in the low body, which is going to translate to symmetry in the low back and the pelvis. My abdomen can soften. I totally spooge out in my belly. All of the center of gravity and the inner organs dropping down. My heart falls in. I round. Here I am driving. And then I get home and I sit at the dinner table and it looks like this. It's just a translation and I look like this. Now, for me to see who's across from me, At the dinner table, I jack up my chin. My spine stays the same. So now I have a rounded back and a lifted chin, and oddly enough, my neck hurts. Can we see this? So this is the opposite of the way we want our spine to function most fluidly. We need the seat to go down. So what I'm asking is that your low back comes a little bit forward and your seat goes a little bit back, and we begin to get this little bit of an arch in the low back, right? The little bit of an arch in the low back, so that when I sit down, I am absolutely square. We want to be square on the perineum, and the perineum, not to be very Madonna about the whole thing, but if we're going to reach underneath and feel the very flat surface between the front of your pubic bone and the base of your spine, that hammock of muscle is what basically holds you together front to back and side to side. And that is what's the base of the bowl of your energy of your body. So I might do a little bit, maybe we'll have a workshop on Mula Bandha and really beginning to feel how we can gather that sensation. Now, if I'm seated and I am rounded, it's going to look like this, and I'm rounded through the spine. And it's going to translate to my neck. I'm going to fix your neck in just a jiffy. But I want to sit that perineum, that pelvic floor, into the floor. Now, if my knees are tight, it's going to round me down. There's no way around it. That's why we have a block, and that's why you have a chair. So if I need to, I can get up higher. Or if I kneel, by kneeling, you see how my hips square off? How I have a little anchor in the low back? This is called rock pose in Kundalini, because you are so stable. And energetically, there's access. So I have a little low back, and then I have a little rounding through the mid back so that my ribs have some space. And then again, a little bit of an arch through the back of the neck. So as we work through these motions, right? Forward, back, we're moving to remove the tension in the hips, the pelvis, the spine, so that when we come to neutral, our neutral is no longer like this. But if I roll my hips forward, my seat back, my sternum rises. Now my neutral is chest broad, collarbones clear, gaze, horizon, chin, all even, these steady planes of attention in the body. So this movement is allowing you to flush out the rounding of your bucket seat, the rounding down as you work on your keyboard, the rounding down when you sit and you look at your phone. So if you are only lifting your chin, you're going to have a pain in your neck. When I say lift your heart, I'm lifting you up out of the navel. I want you to take your seat back. So heart up and then chin lightly in. Now this will lengthen the back of my neck and I'm seated tall. Find it there. I want you to round down. Bring your heart up. Even put your finger on your sternum, lift it up, send your tail back. This is heart up. Now tuck your chin lightly and reach into the top of your head. You're lengthening the back of your neck. That will relieve the tension in your neck. So I want you to really find that as we move forward and back and find neutral. Because when we put it all together and we're moving here, now we're moving from the seat to the crown. This alignment through the spine and through the sushumna, which is the energy that follows the spine, all of that is what allows your lower body, your finite experience of life, to access and merge with your infinite aspect of life. When they're separated, you are just bucketed down and you're like, why am I so worried about what's practical? Why can't I be inspired? Why can't I find that sense of self that I know after practice? You find that sense of self when you lift the chest and you give your spine the ability to move from base through heart to beyond. Okay? So at the end, when we practice with the hands up, her second question was, how do I handle the hands up posture? Well, if you're rounded, one more quick thing. We're going to start in 1 minute. If I'm seated and I'm rounded and I try to put my hands up, do you know how heavy my hands are? Each of these at least is 8.5 pounds. Right? So I'm sitting like this. This is incredibly difficult. If I stack my heart over my navel over my seat, now I've stacked the bones of my spine. I'm upright. Now I'm opening the chest. And now I am weightless because I have taken the weight of my hands into my wrist. the weight of my forearms into my elbow, the weight of the length of my arm into my shoulder, and my shoulder girdles resting on my spine. I am effortless. And there is a sensation of expanse in my mind, fingers open. So if you are in any way rounded down, that's why I always offer the chair. Sit your seat back, your heart up, your hands over. If that's not possible, because this is just where your shoulders stop, that's fantastic. Keep practicing. It'll keep opening. We've done this movement. We've been opening the chest since March. So practice after practice, we're going to keep working into this space because this is your space. This is Waheguru. This is hallelujah, man. I made it up. Now you can go there, or it can help to hold opposite elbows. If you can't, this is also another meditation. Holding opposite elbows. You have support. And now you're building emotional stamina, just like this is building emotional stamina. If you can make it for 70% and your mind says, I need to stop, then put your hands down and shake it out and come back in. Or clear your mind a breath at a time. I will guide you a little more carefully this afternoon into this posture, and then I'll keep you company in this posture. But this is where we're going, and this is why the spine is so important. It's aligning you so that you're not living this way. This way is crappy. All you see is the floor. Lift your heart, chin in, back of the neck so long, see the horizon. And with the periphery of your gaze, see a whole hemisphere of possibility. Let's go. If you have questions from there, either type them in or stay after on Facebook and I'll answer questions, or write to me. And it helps everyone. Settle. Clear. Heart high. Chin in. Notice. Start here. If it's challenging, get higher. Om Namo, I bow to everything outside of me, guiding me, healing me, holding me. Guru Dev Namo, I bow to everything inside of me, rising to meet it all. 3 times with me, inhale. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Roll your shoulders, roll your wrists, shake it out. Unfold your blanket twice to come to your back. So all of the work that we're doing when we're warming up is freeing the hips and strengthening the abdomen so that this set of muscles, this corset of muscles holds you and the heart can be high and free. Look for it. Starting your playlist at Ke Ahi. Good. On your back, bring your knees to your chest. Shake out your feet, shake out your knees, and then interlace your fingers over your right shin. Let your left leg go long, reach it out, and then inhale, bring it up. Exhale, it goes down, and inhale, it comes up. We just start right here. Close your eyes. Find the rhythm of your movement. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Good. Flex and point your toes. Spread the toes. Add the left hand overhead and catch hold of the left shin. Let your right heel rise and fall. We're just going to free the hips. So when I warm us up right here, we're freeing the hips, and this freedom in the hips
is what's freeing our seat to sit down. And when our heart sits down, our heart rises. When our seat goes down, our heart goes up, and the back of the neck is long. Let's add the arms, hold the right shin, left hand overhead, left leg long, right hand overhead, right leg long. Inhale, open, exhale, close. So from the stability of your seat, begin to add the stability of your shoulders. Three, two, good, and one. Good. Heels up high, hands behind your head. Lift your head and shoulders. Reach your right hand to your left foot and change. So see if you can keep your chest lifted and your elbows wide. And it's this turn, rolling from your shoulder towards your outer foot. And it's here that we begin to access the obliques, the sides of your rib cage. And it's that will hold us. Your eyes close and you simply become steady. Start to straighten your legs. Open the backs of your knees by lengthening the soles of your feet. 3, 2, 1. Turn your heels in, your toes apart. We're going to find a little tap. Keeping your head and shoulders lifted, the little tap, let your heels shift towards the backs of your hips as though your heels are going toward the front of your mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and reach. Reach. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Tap. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, reach. 4, 3, 2, tap. Go. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, reach. Go. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Last taps. 8, 7, 6. Navel to spine. You're building your seat right from here. 4, 3, 2. And knees down. Head and shoulders down. Hands on thighs. Press away space through the belly. And knees to your chest. Good on. You'll roll the way all the way up and over. Fold your blanket in half so that you can pad your knees and your shins. Good one. At your hands and your knees, you tuck your chin, you round, and you release. Exhale, round, inhale, open. And again, you see how we're finding that little arch, letting the tail rise behind you, letting the navel drop and lengthen. And it's there that we're building, setting the perineum, that pelvic floor can really face the back of the mat. 3, 2, 1. So all of our warm-ups are preparing us so that we can access the postures as clearly, as cleanly as possible. Hands on blocks, down dog. Press it back. Good, 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 good. Step your right foot up. Go a little forward and back. A little forward and back. Just adjust your blocks as needed. Open the back heel, the hips. Pause. Left knee to the floor, 2 hands high. Take your hips back. Inhale, open it up. And then exhale, bend your knees, hands down. Step back, downward facing dog. And then the left foot will step up. Rock a little forward, rock a little back. Open the back foot. You're on the ball of the foot. Reach into the heel. And then knee to the floor, hands up high. Take your hips back. And a big bend in the knee, hands down. Inhale, down dog. Right foot steps up, left knee down. Inhale, up and back. Exhaling, bending. In dog. Left up. Inhale up. Exhale down. Step back. Right up. Left knee down. And up. Good. Imagine you're raising your spirits. You're lifting your mouth corners as you lift your hands. Come up and out. And bend. And back. And up. And back. Left up, right knee down, moving at your pace. If mine is too quick or too slow, you find yours. And we'll meet with the right foot stepping up, the left knee down, and 2 hands high. Right hand holds the left wrist. A little forward, a little back. Up and out of the left hip, up and out of the left rib. Left toes are tucked under. Right knee bends, hands to the right. Right knee bends, hands to the right. Press your left toes into the floor. And release. Step back, down dog. Left foot steps up, right knee down, 2 hands up. Take it back. Left hand holds right wrist forward and back, as though oiling the hinge of your hips. And at the top, go up into the right hand. Hands a little to the left as you slowly bend your left knee. Right toes press into the floor. Right ribs open into the fingertips. 2 hands down. Downward facing dog. Press hands down and away, outer shoulders back, hips high, feet to the floor. And your right foot steps outside of your right hand. Your hands walk forward with or without the blocks, hips up and back. There is a half dog. Find where it opens you. Trust this. Working there, or stepping your hands a step to the left. Hands pressed down and away, hips up and back. Your right ribs, the right back begins to open. The right outer hip wraps back. Your head is long. Bending your right knee, find the center, hands to block, step back down, dog. All out. Left foot steps up outside of the left hand. Hands step forward, hips come up. There's your half dog. Now you work there, or your hands step to the right. Left palm to the floor, left hip comes back, and the left big toe plugs into the floor. And this is really where I feel the asymmetry of the car that I talked about, how your left side stays still. The left side for me is shorter than the right because of an automatic car. Come to center, downward facing dog. Press it back. Pause a beat. Knees down, knees wide, toes together. Child's pose as you fold back. Come on till the hands are staying on the blocks. So this is the posture of your arms and your shoulders in our final meditation with the hands overhead. So arms out long. This is a chance to open the sides of your shoulders, the upper back. Drop your head between your arms. Set a block between your heels. Set a block in front of you, crossways. Sitting down, hands on thighs. See? Tail back, heart high. Hands to thighs. Move through the spine. Inhale, exhale. Close your eyes. Remove the tension of your hips. As though you could breathe out the tension of your low back and your abdomen. Work there or hands on the outside edges of the block in front of you. And just bring that movement to your mid-back. Work there or palms flat to the floor, fingers point forward, hands in front of knees, eyes closed. We're smoothing, melting the movement of your spine, encouraging all the communication that it carries through us, through our lives. By making sense of our spine, we're making sense of ourselves. And we're making sense of our lives. Three, two, and hands on thighs, eyes closed. Feel the spine, the little arch of the low back. Send your seat back. Anchor your pelvis into the floor. Heart comes up, chin lightly in. So the chest is lifting, the seat descends, the back of the neck so long. I'm not pulling my chin into my body. I'm lifting my chest and I'm lengthening the back of my neck as though widening the back of my neck. Lifting the back of my skull without forcing my chin into my throat. And let your legs out long. Shake out your feet. Our goal is that the front of your spine equals the back of your spine, and the front of your throat equals the back of your throat. Walk your feet in. Put your hands behind you. Chest up. As you're ready, left leg long, left arm wraps around the right knee, and then center. Inhale. Right leg out, right arm wrap. Exhale. Into center.
out to turn. Close your eye. The base. Think about your leg being heavy toward the floor, and let the leg turn the navel. How can your breath help to rinse the spine? And then to the center. Fold your blanket in half, sitting tall, sweep from side to side. If crossed legs doesn't work here, you can always work with legs out long. Right? Because sometimes warming up with the legs out long helps us to find a better seat. Work where it serves you. When you're ready, a hand behind your head. And when you're ready, 2 hands behind the head, eyes closed. Inhale as you reach over. Exhale, navel to spine brings you back to center. And pause, center. Bring it belly down. As you unfold, come to settle. Walk your feet back, tuck your toes under to lift your knees, hands back, make a fist, palm up. Put the fist under the crease of your hips, chin down, and one heel and the other. Draw your pubic bone down toward the floor. Draw your navel into your body, and from that neutral pelvis, the pelvic floor does not move. It's as though you were standing with a floor beneath your feet, and you're just lifting one heel and then the other. Keep your pelvis nice and square. Keep your low abdomen engaged. Inhale up, exhale, navel to spine. So strong. Chin down, pubic bone down, legs strong. Feet flex, knees stay off the floor. Let it go. And put your forearms under your forehead.
Hips wag side to side. Heels wash side to side. Turn right onto your back. Drawing your knees into your chest to relieve any tension in your low back. Shake out your feet and your knees. Hands on shins. This is our inhale. Palms to the floor, legs extend. This is our exhale. Inhale to exhale. Inhale. And set it down. Feet to the floor. Hands on thighs. Pause. Today, draw your left knee into your chest. Interlace your fingers. Roll your ankle. Drop your left hip. Let your left heel rise over your left knee. Hand to behind the knee or up the shin or outer foot. Bring your left knee down. Right hand on your right thigh. Press away. So what we're doing here is helping to free up the seat. Let the hip joints really find the floor when we sit. This will allow your chest to come up. This will allow your hands overhead. So as we change the shape of the hip crease, we're actually changing your state of mind by the end. Left leg long. Press into your outer foot, holding the outer foot, or if it's too far, left hand inside the left thigh, press your thigh into your hand. So the left hand helps rotate the inner thigh back towards you, and your left hip reaches forward as though sitting in the back of the left hip, and then reach into your left heel, and then into your right heel on the floor. When we stand or when we sit in a way that rounds our pelvis, dropping our tail and tucking ourselves in, our heart will fall in. We'll lose a sense of confidence. Bring it into the middle. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh and your hands low towards your hip. Press your left heel and then extend your right leg. Press into both heels. Let your arms be long and straight. Let that pressure into your hip open the back of your neck. Send the left hip towards the right heel. More. More. Let it go. and change. Right knee in, pause. Right heel high, holding either behind your knee or your outer shin or your outer ankle. Your right knee draws down. Left hand on the left thigh, press away. And notice if you're pulling hard on that right foot, I want you to soften your shoulders, soften your grip, and instead allow the right knee to melt toward the floor from the hinge of your hip rather than pulling down on your foot. Put your attention in your hip. And with your breath, the exhalation melts the right hip joint. Good. The right leg extends out to the right, holding the outer foot, or the right hand to the right inner thigh, pressing your thigh into your hand. Reach into your heels. So your right hand rolls your inner thigh back, and your right outer hip reaches forward. A little turn of the thigh. Then you bring it right up the center of the toes, pointing back. Interlace your fingers behind your thigh and lower, and lower. And then press your heel to the ceiling, extend your left leg. So I am pressing the back of my right hip into my hands, opening the elbows, opening the shoulders, opening the base of my neck. Legs are long. Toes drawn back, still and steady. Right hip towards that left heel, just a little further. Two feet to the floor. Release your hands. Arms go wide, into the chest, into the breath. This is why we came today, to remember how spacious we are inside. Knees in. Rolling all the way forward and back, come up over. We'll take our blanket into a kneeling shape again. So give it one more fold, gets a little thicker. Add a block and add a strap. So if you don't have a strap, just because I have a t-shirt on hand today, I will use a t-shirt. I just lengthen it out, roll it up, and now I have a strap. Seated on a block, or if you need to, sit on 2 blocks. And as you fold and rise, rinse the hips. And then as you have space, you're just going to lift your hands up over your shoulders. You may be making some space through the shoulders if you've been doing this each day. And if so, bring your hands perhaps an inch closer today. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Begin to feel your spine adjust. So it's not about forcing your way in. It's about finding the range of motion that's appropriate for each joint. Remembering there's a joint between each vertebrae, each bone of your spine. And then you're beginning to move on the breath and let those joints have a greater range of motion. And then we add on lifting the hips. Heart comes up, folding down, inhaling up, and exhaling down. Beautiful. Find your range. Close your eyes and settle in.
as big or as small as you choose. 3, 2, and 1. And sit down, hands on thighs. Coming up, kneeling. Block stays between your feet, keeps you stable. Now you put your hands, fingers fold in, but the palms stay open. Hands wide, thumbs point forward, equal weight in the knees, forward circles. And the forward circles here, I want you to draw your shoulder blades towards your spine, hold that block. As though you could sweep out the sides of your ribs, the back of your chest, the underarms. You get a little quicker and a little stronger. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, out. Hands up. Bring your fingers in, your palms open, turn your thumbs out and then wide and forward circles. Now you're lifting your chest, shins down into the floor, heart up. Now, if you have tenderness in your low back here, it's because you're leaning back a little bit. I want you to come upright. Heart up, chin in, back of your neck is long. Turn your thumbs to point straight back and strong circles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Be changed, be changed, be changed. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Interlace your fingers, press away. All that length in the spine. Keep that. Come to kneel, come to sit, or use your chair. Palms face you, elbows wide, and round and rise. Exhale, inhale. Our final movement here, integrating from the seat to the crown. Work here or palms face down, hands the height of the shoulders. Inhale, open, exhale, round. Work here or hands behind the head, full pose. Eyes closed. I want your spine to be as supple and as receptive as possible. And you are moving from your hips. And your hips are moving your spine. And your spine is fluid right to the top of your head. And the movement is easy. Notice, is it easier going forward or back? So balance out the opposite aspect. For 2, for 1, and hands to the thighs. Any change, set yourself up, fingers up, hands high, and check in. Sit your tail a little further back. Your ribs a little bit up, your chin a little bit in, and then your low ribs just bring you right into the center. Your thumbs point back, your shoulders are low. If you are not in line from hand to shoulder to seat, try it in a chair. long, steady breathing to give yourself focus on the inhalation in your mind, the syllable sat, truth. On your exhalation, the syllable nam, I am, I revere. Inhaling sat, exhaling nam. I am this. This is my true self. The heart is up, the seat is down. The chin lightly in, the back of the neck is long, and the back of the neck and the front of the neck are equal. Neither is compressed. In your mind, hear it. The way we conclude every practice, the 8-count sat, the 2-count nam. Hear that whole syllable in your mind. Soften your body around the alignment, resting in the seat. The hands are open and the hands are at ease. The shoulders are open and the shoulders are at ease. Finding an inhalation right to the tips of your fingers. Bend your elbows as you exhale. Hands to the thighs, eyes stay closed. Notice the sensations through your body. Lifting your fingers, elbows down, and extend the arms. If it's too much, hold opposite elbows. If it's too much, opposite elbows out in front. If you choose, use a 4-count breath. In the belly, in the belly, in the chest, out the belly, out the belly, out the chest, in, 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 out, 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 smooth. If you prefer the mantra, Satnam. If you want to use both, be very subtle. Be kind, be subtle. Find an inhalation right to the fingers. On your exhale, bend your elbows, hands to your thighs. Be still and be quiet. And just pause your playlist if you're using it. We'll use a 4-count breath in and a 4-count breath out. We'll repeat it 15 times. Any adjustment you need to your seat, I'll move to cross legs. If you need to hop to a chair because your knees or hips are done, or you'd like to experiment with keeping your spine very tall, pelvis is down, heart is high. Thumb and first fingertips touch. You're stable. You're steady. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In the nose, 2, 3, 4. Out the nose, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In, 2, 3. Heart up. Out, 2, 3. Seat down. In, 2, 3, 4. Out, 2, 3, 4. In. Long back of the neck. Out. In. Out. In. Out. In. Lengthen the spine. Sit tall. Out. And just gather around the spine. In. Out. In. Out. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. 2, 3, 4. Out. 2, 3, 4. In. Out. In. Out. In. Out. Normal breathing. Being totally still. 30 seconds. And as you're ready, stay or unfold into your Shavasana. And if you're unfolding, move as gracefully as you can, as though you were holding a bowl full of water, not to spill what you've made, but to just let it rest, to absorb it all. If you choose, long, steady breath, shake out the feet and the knees. Soften a little further. Soften a little further. The shoulders, the lips, the skin around your eyes and your scalp. So that when I remind you how miraculous you are porous enough to let it in. So that when I remind you how miraculous you are, you can let it in. Soft lips, soft skin around the eyes, soft hands and heart. How miraculous you are. Breathe it in. Hands overhead. Reaching out. Walk your feet out. Shake your feet side to side, your knees up and down, and walk your feet in and in and in, and hold your shins and round your back and tuck your chin. Roll your way to a simple seat and sweep wide and reach high. Palms together, bring it in to open wide. To bring it in. Gathering into your arms the certainty how miraculous you are. And bring it in. In your mind or aloud, repeat, I expand in success, abundance, and love every day as I inspire those around me to do the same. Hands to your forehead center. I am this, Sat Nam. 8 count Sat, 2 count Nam. Inhale. Sat Nam. Sat Nam, I see myself. Namaste, I see you. So Wednesdays we'll have a little bit more discussion. If that's useful, let me know. To align, to arrive, to understand what we're trying to accomplish. Mondays we have modifications. Tuesdays and Thursdays are just straight up practice. I will be much less instructive. So tomorrow when you come back, we hop on, a little bit of a start, and then we just practice together. And that way you can know what to expect and when to tune in and what to replay. So if you want to just replay the modified version Monday after Monday, play that. If you like having the extra instruction, play on Wednesday. If you like just showing up and getting it done, that's Tuesday and Thursday. If it works for you, you can give me a thumbs up later. Let me know. But please send your questions. I love hearing from you. You are why I'm here. Thank you so much for your time. And I will see you tomorrow. Sat Nam.